So this is talking about neuro-enhancement for relationships. While individual couples should be free to use pharmacological interventions to sustain and improve the romantic connection, we suggest that they have an obligation to do so, specifically a special responsibility to enhance their relationship for the sake of children. So this outlines the idea that we need to use medication, drugs, pharmacological intervention,
psychopharmacological intervention,
make things
psychotropic
better.
drugs to make your relationship better. You owe it to me to eat some ecstasy, baby. Yeah, that's really...
Yeah, this one sounds a little nutty, but is this the road we're going down? This sounds like Minority Report or Demolition Man, where the future is going to be totally wild.
I guess it would depend on how they're defining, love drugs. Like if you're defining love drugs as if you have a depressive disorder and there are medications that could help you move through that, or an anxiety disorder, and there are psychopharmacological interventions that could help you move through that, that you have a responsibility to try to be the best version of yourself from a neurochemical perspective. I don't know. That's a little wonky to me. And certainly like empathy producing or empathogens like MDMA or, psilocybin or things like that. I guess the question really becomes, again, like, what are we trying to accomplish there? Like, are we suggesting that, the optimal state is for everyone to sort of have better living through chemistry at all times? I don't know that there's ever been any psychopharmacological intervention that doesn't have some second order effects. Like if you talk to people who've, been on Adderall for extended periods of time, they'll tell you, yeah, it was really great. I was super focused and super productive, but I also became kind of robot-like. I didn't feel as emotional. My sleep was disturbed. There's a bunch of things that can come as second order side effects of that can't really necessarily be controlled for when it comes to dosage. It's just the nature of the beast. There's a Faustian bargain. You gain something, you lose something in any of these interventions. So it's a little bit tricky, but I certainly understand the concept of better living through chemistry, that as we get to know more about sort of mapping our psychobiology, you hear a lot on things like Huberman Lab or Chris Williamson of Modern Wisdom or any of the, Tim Ferriss has always been into biohacking. And you have a lot of, there's a lot of good science out there about, about biohacking, about neurotropics, about, ways to improve your cognition. None of them, though, are like totally free from some, there was a period of time where all of a sudden everybody who was, in that space was doing nicotine. Everyone was about nicotine, whether it was the little patches or whether it was gum or anything like that, because they were talking about how, it helps with focus. But then, of course, there's all these second order effects that come with it, too. It increases your blood pressure. It can have, addictive qualities, obviously. So again, there's no perfect drug. There's just ways to play with your biology a little bit. And we're all going to have different reactions to those things, too.